everyone, and welcome to R&R.
And this week is Dr. Seuss.
But this book is no longer in print anymore.
Yeah,
as of last year.
For many different reasons. And if you do zoom in, we could probably get a photo of what I found in it. So, yeah. So that's cool. I get to show off my cool random thing that I have that I shouldn't have. Don't call the cops.
Do you want me to start since my first facts are about the propaganda?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So this all happened during World War II. He was actually born in 1904. So he had a problem with being racist. And he made racist propaganda that specifically and mostly that attacked the Japanese. But he also targeted Germans and other enemies of the time. Like, he also had a problem with the Chinese as well. But he used his most venomous work. The worst of his work was just purely dedicated to the Japanese. And actually, the page of the book is it the Chinese one?
Yeah, it says a Chinese boy who eats with sticks.
A
magician who does tricks.
Yeah, it used to say Chinaman.
Chinaman, Chinese boy. It's very... because he's the only...
like, not much better.
He's the only yellow character.
And he refused to change it until 1978. So, it was around for a while.
He really felt strongly about that one.
Yeah, he did not want to change it. He didn't feel the need, I guess.
So mine's a little bit not as fucked up. So the Cat in the Hat was originally supposed to be a human.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was supposed to represent himself.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because of his tall demeanor, he originally drew it as himself.
Oh, I didn't know he was tall. I didn't look up any pictures.
But he originally wanted it to be human. He wanted it to look like himself because he felt strongly as the character. But then he changed it to Cat in the Hat specifically so it was easier for children to grasp it. It was also changed to rhyme better. And, I don't know, to kind of think about it. If it was a cat, he would have ate the fish and not fucked up a suburban home.
That's true. That's very true.
Because he always thought about having kids, even though he was not awesome.
Yeah, it's actually, it's lesser known, but there's a myth that Dr. Seuss didn't like kids. And that's not exactly the truth.
Is it specifically like... It's specifically like that he didn't like how unpredictable children were.
And also, he wasn't able to have kids with his wife because she had a hysterectomy when she was in her 30s. And she lived a long time being chronically ill also. And then his mistress later on said that she led a totally happy life without having any kids and didn't want any.
Speaking of children.
Yeah.
Or not having any, Hop on Pop was supposed to be about contraceptive. Birth control.
Oh yeah, I think I read something about that.
So his editors believed that he could publish anything he wrote. So as a joke, he tested the theory, and it read as, when I read, I am smart. I always cut whole words apart. Constantinople, Timbuktu, contraceptive, kangaroo.
Oh my god, he just shoved that right on in there, didn't he?
And it rhymes, which is even worse.
Oh god.
But he sent it to the editors, and immediately they called him and were like, what the fuck were you thinking? And he was like, okay, fine. And so it got reworded, which I also have that book. I have a lot of the books.
What was it reworded to, do you know?
Oh god, I wish I had looked at the book that I have. That's a good one. No, I don't remember, but yeah. Contraceptive. He really tried that.
Yeah, he did.
He just jammed it right in there. It wasn't like sneaky. It was just broken downward.
Yep.
Rhyme it with kangaroo.
Yep. He actually wrote a lot of like cartoony type thing, which I'm sure you guys have seen. But it's like cartoony type things that he would write, and comics. He did comics. And he also did, obviously, children's books, but that was a little bit later. He started with doing propaganda for the war effort. And because of the fact that his racism is reflected in his books so bad, there are 6 books. So this book is actually one of them. And on March 2nd, 2021, which is Seuss's birthday, Dr. Seuss Enterprises, which carries the author's legacy, announced it would stop printing 6 books. And those 6 books are this one, And To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, If I Ran the Zoo, McElliot's Pool, On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Egg Super, and The Cat's Quizzer.
All right, and for mine, so, do you want to know how I started getting to write kids' books? He only agreed to start writing children's books so he can write a sexy, naked lady.
I read about
book.
that!
So Dr. Seuss had written an erotica before, well, helped write it, mostly illustrated it. He did art for it, showing a lonely, lust-filled woman stuck on an island with a young boy. As the young boy protests, "Is it my fault I'm only 13?
That's gross.
So, as a condition of his contract, he insisted that they let him write an adult book. He did. And I'm not going to let you guys know. You guys can go look that up yourself. I didn't want to be on the FBI's most wanted list. That's on you. If you really want to know, you can go find it yourself.
Grody.
I am not saying the name of the previous book or the future book due to obvious pedophilia.
Grossness?
Yeah. Obvious pedophilia. So, go for it.
Okay.
The look on your face was like, oh my god.
Because I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
The pedophilia, like the racism, but like...
Oh, white guys gotta be racist.
Apparently. Okay, so mine is really messed up, and it's a long one,
Okay.
and it's about his wife. So he was married to Helen Palmer Gazelle. I don't know how to
You're
say
good.
it.
You're good. Go ahead.
But they were
I
married.
don't fully either.
Yeah, it's a weird name. But they were married for 40 years. And she really often struggled with her health. For more than a decade leading up to her death, she was partially paralyzed from Guillain-Barré syndrome. In 1967, she also had cancer.
Jesus, life kept punching her in the face.
She died having cancer, but not from the cancer or her illness.
So hold on. So she had an illness that paralyzed her.
Yep.
And then she
partially
also,
paralyzed.
From where? Do you know where to where?
No, it could have been it was probably a partial she was probably partially paralyzed in multiple different areas of her body.
Gotcha.
Instead of just like an upper or a lower. But yeah, she had cancer when she died, but it wasn't from the cancer. The thing that makes all of this just like extra fucked up is that Dr. Seuss chose to begin an affair with Audrey Stone Diamond.
You mentioned a mistress earlier.
Yeah, that's the mistress. The affair led to Helen being absolutely depressed. Obviously, she's like going through all these things.
She's paralyzed, and the roommate cheats on her. That reminds me of George Lopez. How George Lopez's wife gave him a kidney because he was dying, and then he went and bought prostitutes.
In the show, or
no, like in real life, George Lopez's wife gave him a kidney, and then like when he was healed from it, he went out and bought prostitutes. Give me my kidney back. You don't get it anymore.
Sniffs it,
bitch. Repo Man on that.
Oh my god. Okay, so rolling that back. Okay, so the affair made her very sad, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, so ultimately it contributed to her death because she killed herself. She literally killed herself. She killed herself because of his infidelity in the face of her illness. Obviously. And even...
A TikTok safe version of that would be calling it sewer slide.
Yeah, sewer slide. But literally, while that was... right after that happened, within a year of that happening, Dr. Seuss married his mistress. They got married. He did not give a single crap. And she even wrote a suicide letter that said in it, like, what happened to us? We used to have so much fun together. And, like, all of these things. And, like, you can tell she just felt so unloved because this man did not care about her at all.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's so horrible. I read so much about it. It's awful.
So she was paralyzed. She had cancer. He cheated on her. She wrote a suicide note specifically being like, you're the reason why. And he's like, you know what? I gotta move on. She would want that. No, she would not. Yep. She wants you to kill yourself.
Yep, he just straight up married that fucking mistress. But it's your turn.
That poor woman. Okay.
Leaving it on that depressing fucking note.
Rachel wins for the most fucked up fact. Yay!
Thank you. I had to try to beat the most fucked up fact that you had.
It's not Yours wins. It wasn't. I also had that on mine. I'm glad I took it off because you win. Nope, mine's not. Nope, that one. This one's not fucked up, really. He was fired from his college magazine. So in 1920, Dr. Seuss went to Dartmouth. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I'm probably not.
Dartmouth. It could be either, though.
Doesn't matter. He wrote for old ass white guy college. He wrote for the Jack-O-Lantern, where he rose to editor-in-chief within a few months before he got caught drinking in his dorm, and that's when the prohibition was.
Yep.
So him drinking was extra illegal.
Yeah, extra illegal.
That's not affect yours though. Go ahead, make us more depressed. Do it.
I don't have any more besides that one that started it all.
No, go ahead.
No, you should talk about it. I want you to.
What?
Taxidermy.
Well, I have one.
The last one I have is about the taxidermy.
Well, go ahead and say it. You're the one that wrote it down. I
did. All right. Decades before he became a best-selling children's book author, he created a series of sculptures called Unorthodox Taxidermy using real animal parts to create them. Now, when I first heard this, I thought, wow, that's fucking gross. He's probably taking, like, bits of, like, squirrels or something and mashing them together. Like, it's probably so horrible. But it's actually not. When I looked it up and I saw what it was, it's really not bad, and it's actually kind of cool. He made sculptures, actual sculptures, and then he put real animal parts on them. But not, like, gross things. Like, he would do, like, their talons or their horns or something like that, and he would craft that onto the sculpture. And a lot of it still is, like, in his, like, manner. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he made odd-looking creatures out of his taxidermy, and that's how you get, like, weird zebra with horns, and, like, I don't know what's all on this book, but we'll probably post some photos on the YouTube of, like, the weird creatures that
he made, yeah,
that he made in real life, and was like, oh, I'm gonna put that into a book. That sounds like some Dr. Spencer Black crap. That was a doctor who did horrible, gross things. Okay. Like that, but, like, actually, like, use parts of animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my last one. He had imaginary children. Dr. Seuss never had any of his own, due to what you've already previously said. And he also didn't like kids.
Yep.
Because of their unpredictable nature. But if people asked him if he had children, he would say yes, that he had a daughter named Chrysanthemum, who made the most delicious oyster stew with chocolate frosting and flaming Roman candles. Does that make sense? Make that make sense for me.
I can't.
Are the Roman candles in the stew? Is there chocolate frosting, like, on top of it? Are they separate?
Why is it oysters?
Like, I don't know. It's oyster stew.
And what is up with that name? Can we talk about the name for a minute? It's the whole ass flower.
Yeah.
Not a flower you usually use for a name.
Yeah, no. So people, like, that he worked with, or, like, random people, if they come up to him and be like, oh, do you have any kids of your own or something? He would literally be like, yes, I have a daughter named Chrysanthemum. Yeah, and he would add, like, that weird-ass little detail to make it real.
How did he not know that, like, years in the future this would come back? Because we would be aware that he did not have kids.
What a psycho. What a psycho.
Yeah.
He's over here being like, 13-year-old boys should fuck grown women. And also, I have a daughter who makes oyster stew with chocolate frost. Is it in it? Is it separate?
No, you're right. That sounds almost like a date.
Was Dr. Seuss a pedophile?
Probably. He was racist. It was a different time. Also, a lot of people...
No excuse! I hate that shit. There's no excuse.
No, there's not an excuse, but that's
he
probably
would think it's
why.
Okay. Yeah. No, because, like, oyster stew, right? Like, separately. Chocolate frosting separately.
And oysters are
is an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
And then flaming Roman candles. So I'm thinking in my head, tall Roman candles with, like, chocolate frosting as dessert, which, ew, why the fuck would you just eat chocolate frosting?
Frosting is gross.
And then oyster stew. That's a date.
That's so icky.
He's like, I have a full daughter who I... at home.
Yeah.
That's what that said.
Yeah.
Because what daughter...
They cringe.
I mean, I guess I understand. I don't know.
I don't know. It wouldn't be as weird if it was a boy. but it's still gross because he made that book with a boy.
No, it would be weirder if it was a boy because
of the book.
Because of that weird book, the 13-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's why I said, yeah.
So it's... Now I feel like I have to do separate research on, like, incognito tab.
Now I feel like I'm literally never, ever, ever in my life going to endorse Dr. Seuss ever again.
Oh, no, never. But your children's school and my children's school, well, they have a whole week of it. The one that your kids are going to go to is the same one that mine goes to, and they have a whole week.
Well, they can't, the teachers themselves can't do anything about it because it's a curriculum.
Yeah.
Even if they don't like it, they can't do anything about it. They have to teach it.
You know what's fucked up?
Which
This
is
man
gross.
has a whole week of being in children's schools, and the only reason he did it is to get published a Naked Lady book. And we can have photos on YouTube because it's drawn. I will send you the photo so you can put it up there. Of the Naked Lady book that he...
Okay.
Part of the illustrations. They are... I think they're cool looking, but I don't think that the book itself is cool looking.
Yeah,
like
it's
I can appreciate the art and hate the artist.
Yes.
So
yes. And hate what the art represents, but still be like, that is good art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least the women look like they're having fun in the photo. Here, insert here.
At least someone was having fun.
They look like they were having a lot of fun. I think they were like on a hippo or a
Yeah,
snake or
I
something.
saw that. It was like a big giant, like an elephant or a hippo. You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They look like they were having lots of fun.
Yeah.
Well, now we know what to do on our next vacation.
Get a bunch of naked ladies on a fucking hippo or something.
We gotta be on a random island, and we gotta be lonely, lust-filled women.
That's a lot of. We're gonna have to get a lot of women for that.
We're gonna have to get... No, there was like... We have to get 3 more women for that.
3 more.
There's 5 on the hippo.
It's okay. They'll be imaginary.
Okay.
We'll just say they exist and they make us nice dinners.
Yeah, let's come up with some names.
Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
Jasmine.
Opioid.
I'm like Jasmine. You're like opioid.
It's a flower. It's a
Who would
flower.
say opioid?
Red poppy seeds. I don't fucking...
Poppy seeds are not any better.
Mary Jane.
What is your problem? What's your problem? Jasmine.
Jasmine. Oh God, you yelled that. Okay, fine. But there's a third one. We have to think of a third one.
Your third one can be one of your weird ones. Everyone can just think we're on fucking drugs riding a hippo.
Uh-huh.
On opioids.
We would have to be so fucking high on opioids to get naked and ride a small elephant with no horns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see nothing wrong with bringing opium with us. She's a great girl. She's the only thing that's gonna make me do that.
Good point.
Well, we're gonna sign off. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.